So today I want to share with you all something that a lesson that I really got hit hard with in 2017. And it's something that I wish that I would have known or realized many, many years ago in my life. And that is that dreams and passions especially can be really fragile at times in life. And one of the reasons that I wish I knew that was because all my life, since the time I could walk up until later in high school, I was a dancer, and my dream was to be a ballet dancer and be a ballerina. And that's all I wanted to do with my life, and I was training like 6 days a week. And on top of the stress of that schedule and some other life stuff and health stuff that I had going on, I had decided to stop. And because there was certain things and stress was interfering with the ability for me to see my passion. And now a lot of times I regret it because I wish that if I would have toughed it out a little bit more, I think that maybe I could have followed that dream. And I've really noticed that a lot this year as well. And I think that might be part of the reason, as if you guys have been around here, if you've been following me for a good period of time, you know that I don't want to say I have a hard time sticking things out, because I don't quit things because, it's like, I'm not working, I'm just done with this. Like I stop something so that I'm like, okay, this isn't working, like let's not dwell here, let's go on to the next step, the next idea, like let's see if we can make something else work instead. So I switch things a lot, but I have been on the same track since I think the end of July, the beginning of August is when I really kind of made the decision to switch over to blogging and website stuff and less business development. And it's December, and I've done like a really good job of staying on track and staying in the same direction, even though things didn't always feel like they were working, and I'm still not totally sure that they're working. But throughout that process, there have been so many times where stresses and things that I couldn't change, at least things that I couldn't change right at that instant, made me question whether or not that this is the right track and if this is something that I should be doing. And yes, I love writing and I love blogging, and I've even really come to love photography, which is super surprising because that is not something that I expected. However, there have been lots of things that have made me questioned throughout the journey. Like, for example, my Mac, my God bless my MacBook, who is still alive and has not kicked the bucket yet, is literally from the summer before I entered college. So 2009, and Macs last a long time, but we're really kind of pushing it here. And she's going really slow, and when I have to open Photoshop or Lightroom or go through photos, sometimes it takes I spend so many hours, so many minutes waiting for things to load. And that can be really frustrating because I only have a certain amount of time to get things done, and it makes me want to pull my hair out. And sometimes that stress of not being able to afford a new computer right at this moment makes me question whether or not I love this and whether or not it's something that I want to be doing. And when it happens, when you have something like that happens occasionally, it's easy to talk yourself through that and remind yourself that this is what you want to be doing. However, when you're faced with the same kind of minute stresses or situations day after day after day, it wears on you to the point where you don't even realize that one thing is what's making you question your passion. And for me, it gets to the point where I start questioning things, but before I was questioning whether or not I really loved something, when I wasn't really taking the time or the energy to try to separate, okay, am I questioning the actual goal? Am I questioning the end game? Am I questioning where I'm trying to go? Or am I caught up in the stresses of the day by day, and it's these smaller situations that I can't change that are making me wonder if this is what I should be doing? And now that I have kind of realized that there's a difference between questioning your passion and questioning the questioning the tolerance you have to put up with the things that you have to do to get there, or the situations that you have to endure to get there. I never really realized that there was a separation before. So when I was feeling burnout, or when I was feeling just, mentally and physically exhausted with something, I would take that as, this isn't my passion, it's not what I love. Because we live in this world where people are like, even in the hardest of times, I saw my vision and I saw it through, and I just kept believing. I watched some Facebook video on like the guy that created Star Wars and how he had like no budget and everyone didn't believe in him and yada yada yada, and we see these videos and we see these stories about people that were able to believe and see their vision from the start or from the beginning and to see it through. And what happens when you don't have a clear picture of your vision, or when you can't see it right away, or when it becomes cloudy? And I think that for me personally, because I'm so prone to anxiety and depression, that my mental health really interferes with that. And because all around me and everywhere I turn on social media, there are all of these people that are like, I believed in my passion, and like even when the going got tough, like I knew that was the direction that I was supposed to be going in. But what happens when things occur in your life that make the direction no longer as transparent? And so I think that this time of the year, when we have one year wrapping up and another year about to start, we all kind of, at least I think a lot of us, take a few moments to reflect, and in the spirit of like New Year's resolutions and new fresh beginnings, we try to think about how we can get our life in a better place, as we should. How we can take a step closer to our happiness, and getting rid of things that don't make us happy or things that don't serve us, and trying to create things that do. But that gets messy because this is a time of the year where it's really easy to jump ship and to start something that is fresh. But I have to caution you, because whether it's finances, I know that struggle well, whether it's finances or lack of resources or lack of time, all of those things, they can interfere with your passion, your ability to see it. But at the end of the day, once you have those things back, you're going to miss what you were doing. You don't want to stop something because you don't have enough time, and then when you do get some time down the road, be like, oh crap, if I would have just made my time and my calendar a little bit more efficient, if I would have made some tweaks and tried to give myself a little bit more time, could I have stuck it out? Like, did I really love that enough to stay with it? And there have been a couple of things in my life where I've looked back and said, yes, if I would have realized that it wasn't my heart talking, that it was my fears and my stresses, and it wasn't my heart that was saying you don't love this, that it was outside circumstances like not having a quick computer, or not having enough money to do something, or worrying about if I was going to be able to do something and support myself otherwise, those kind of things, or whether or not I could have pushed through the stresses in high school and the physical stuff that I had going on. And that was also a time where, for the first time, I was really kind of full on experiencing my anxiety and depression. And if I would have gotten to know the problems a little bit better and found a couple more effective solutions, if that would have allowed me to stick out my goals. And I'm thankful that I've realized this, because I think that having come to this realization in 2017 is one of the reasons that I have been able to stay on the same path for the last few months, even though there are still times where I'm like, is this all going to be worth it? Do I have a clue what I'm doing? And sometimes my head is like, no, you have no idea what the you're doing. I shouldn't have spoiled. I shouldn't have that. No idea what the heck you're doing. Make sure I edit that out. But then, now that I can see the separation, I have to ask myself, is this coming from the same place that my passion comes from? Or is this coming from scarcity and from stress? And when I see that something is coming from stress, it's more easy to handle, and it feels better than throwing whatever I'm passionate about at that time. It feels better than throwing the towel in and starting something new. So if you've ever felt like that, or if you currently have a dream that you're kind of questioning whether or not you should stick with it, or if you should start over, I'm not saying that you definitely need to stick it out. I'm just saying that maybe ask yourself if it's other things that are making you question where you are rather than the goal itself. And before you give up on it completely, see if there's any other problems that you can try to troubleshoot first, or strategies that will help you stick it out a little bit longer before you decide to give up and move on to the next thing. And I'm going to leave you on that. And I would love to hear what kind of lessons and insights you took away from your 2017 as we enter 2018.